Well, today's kind of a big day in Ray's Arithmetic because we're going to move on to subtraction and lesson 24. Right there, 24. And subtraction is kind of like addition except in reverse. Addition, we're counting up in our numbers, and the subtraction, we're counting down. And we're not going to leave addition completely behind. We are going to be doing a little bit of addition even in this problem that we're going to be working on today in lesson 24. Now, if you were looking in the book, you'd see this picture at the top of our page 27 on subtraction. And it's got this kind of spooky looking picture. It's an old woodcut photo or woodcut drawing, so kind of hard to make out the details, but if you look close enough, you see that there are some owls sitting on a branch, and you see some bats flying around in the air up above their heads and kind of in the background. Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a couple of quick subtraction problems with the owls and the bats in the picture. So first of all, let's look at these owls sitting on this pine tree branch. So if you look closely, I think you can make out that right in here you can see, well, let me ask you this, how many owls do you see sitting there? Can you count them up? Point to them? Like there's one there and one there. So that's how many? Well, that's 2 owls, isn't it? And I think for the sake of this lesson, I think there's one sitting right there. It looks like he's got his back turned. I may be wrong, but I think that's an owl right there. All right, so I believe if we add those owls together, the two and the one kind of down below there, how many is that? That would be 3 owls altogether, right? Okay, so for the sake of this lesson, let's just say that there's 3 owls sitting there. Okay, whoops, I think I need to move this. Let me put it over here. All right, now the other thing that we want to look at in the picture are some bats. We got some bats flying around. You know what bats look like? They got their little webbed wings with points on the ends of them. They're kind of small. They look kind of like birds, but they definitely are not birds. Let's see if we can spot some owls in here. You can kind of see there's a couple of them here, right? You can see one there and one there. And then you can see there looks like definitely couple of them flying there. So there's a bat there, a bat here, and a bat here. And I think for the sake of this lesson over here, there may be 2 more bats. You got to look kind of hard because again this is a woodcut picture that's kind of hard to make out the details, but I believe there's one there and one there. Okay, I could be wrong, but again for the sake of this lesson, let's say that those are bats. So if you count all these bats, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we say there's 6 and 7 there, then I'd say there's 7 bats. Okay? Alright, so we count 7 bats and 3 owls on that pine branch. Well, let's do a little bit of subtraction with what we just learned. Well, if we got 3 owls sitting on a tree, let's say 2 of those owls fly away. How many are left? Think you know the answer? How many owls do you think are left? 3 of them are sitting there, 2 of them fly away. You have how many left? 1, right. So how would we show that? Well, we got 3 owls, 2 of them fly away, so 1 owl is left. How about those 7 bats are flying around outside, out there, up in the sky. Let's say 4 of them fly into a barn. How many are still outside? So we got 7 bats and 4 of them fly into a barn. How many are still left outside that didn't go in the barn? 7 and less 3, 7 less 4 would be, what, 3? Yeah, I think so. And then there were 9 leaves on 1 twig. 3 of those leaves fell off. How many leaves are left? So we had 9 leaves to start with on that twig. 3 of those leaves fell off. So how many leaves does that leave? How many leaves does that leave? What do you think? I think it's 6. 9 less 3 or 6. All right. Well, that's just a little bit of practice to get kind of warmed up on the idea of subtraction. We're taking away numbers, so we're counting down in a sense. We're starting at these higher numbers, and we're ending up on these lower numbers. So we'll do some more of that in our next lesson, 25. You'll get a better idea of subtraction. So we will see you then.